Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing.
Long time.
Long time.
How you been? I'm great. I'm living life, man.
Yeah.
First off, cheers. Cheers. You know, when you come over, you gotta drink. You gotta drink something when you come over.
Just a little sip, nothing crazy, you know what I'm talking about?
So, you know, I've asked around. We talked a little bit before the pod. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. But people have been interested in relationships. They want to know more about the dating dynamics. So before I take over, they hear me all the time. I'd like to get your thoughts on the dating market.
I think as far as like dating right now, I think it's a couple reasons. Like you gotta figure out the why, right, for everything, right? Like why are we dating? Why are we in this situation? Why are we, why, like, it's human nature to just want to be belonged or have some place of belonging, right? Or have some idea of who you are. I think a lot of times women get into these relationships because they want to be a part of something. You know what I mean? You got to think about how men are too. You know what I mean? You got your boys, you got your crew, that's your team, you belong. You know what I'm saying? You might like a specific sport team. You might be a Cowboys fan. You might be a Eagles fan. That's where you belong. You know what I'm saying? It gives you an idea of like why people are so into sports. It's because it gives them a sense of belonging. You know, they get to belong somewhere. And then not only that, like nobody wants to be alone. You know what I mean? As far as like in my opinion, like the idea of what the world is like and what people need. People need each other. Like that's all we really got is ourselves. Like pretty much in my opinion, the meaning of life is your impact towards other people and survival. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you think about it, women need to survive. How are you going to survive? Or men need to survive by, you know, having a seed, man, you know, pushing your survival to the next level. You know what I mean? Or, you know, how do you find a sense of like belonging or a sense of what you call it? Purpose, you know what I mean? And sometimes people put their purpose through like how they impact other people. But that'd be my idea of like why people do the things they do, and the nature behind why people are doing what they do when it comes to the dating.
So, just to piggyback off of that point on purpose and recreation, I'm going to bring in a little bit of statistics. They didn't think I'd go that route, but let's bring it in. In today's economy, people are actually having less children now than ever before.
Right.
And so maybe they're finding purpose in other things outside of reproducing. What do you think is the cause of that? And you kind of spoke to what purpose may look like. Yeah. But I'm not going to say it's everybody. I hate when people say everybody because it's not always all encompassing. But where do you think the purpose is for the majority of, let's just say, Americans today?
I kind of feel like it's user specific. You know what I mean? If you don't want kids, it could be like an idea that, hey, maybe I'm not the type of person that should have kids. Like you are self-critical. You're your worst critic at all times, right? Then there's some people that want kids, it's like selfishly. Like I just want kids. I just want to have kids because I think it's a beautiful thing. And then there's people that just grew up in a really good family-oriented environment, and they kind of just want to, you know, replicate that on their own. You know what I mean? And then there's people that just like, dude, you know, you know, you meet somebody who influences you to want to have a kid, even though you didn't think you wanted one in the first place. But being with that person, you know, makes it seem like, oh, having a kid is cool. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just all user specific. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? I know people that won't have kids, and you know, they're just okay with having pets. You know, and I always think like, what's really going through your mind? Because not everybody's going to tell you what's going on through their mind. But I just think it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's very user specific on why people want kids. I wanted kids because I knew how it felt being a kid. You know what I mean? I knew how amazing it was, and I felt like my experience could have been different. And I really just enjoy, you know, I don't know, watching my kids like experience life in a new way, and me being able to introduce life to them. I think that's probably one of my, if you would call it, love languages, right? Mm-hmm. Is being able to just give out experiences and show people things. You know what I mean? And you know, whenever I can show somebody something new, I know that I made an impact on that person. So yeah,
that's dope. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my childhood. I think, you know, a lot of the times I joke about being older than I am. And a lot of people in my
which is
at my job. Yeah, I mean, I'll joke around and say things like I'm 57 or 58 years old. Obviously, there's very few people that believe me, and those who are that gullible, I don't know what to say about that. But you know, there's something to ignorance is bliss. So they're definitely living their best life if they believe that. But you know, finding purpose. Everybody looks for a purpose. It may not be in children, but for sure, I agree that there can be purpose in having children. And I believe that I work this hard because one day I do want to have children. And I've seen a few women who would say that they don't want children, and then all of a sudden, when they're, you know, in my environment, all of a sudden, everything changes.
But you've seen that with a lot of things. It's like, you know what I mean? It just depends on, it's the right person that comes into your life.
But also, it's like that mentality to be able to flip-flop so quickly and not necessarily be so sure of what you want as well. That the guidance and direction, yes, you'll take guidance and direction from me, but who else are you feeding off of? Who else are you taking guidance and direction from? So sometimes that may be something that you don't even want to entertain because the mindset isn't all the way there. I know people who are so set in their ways that they're not looking to change a damn thing. I know a girl who says she wanted 2 kids and 2 kids only. I want 3. I want possibly 4. And so the fact that she even showed me a note from when she was 5 years old that says 2 kids on her bucket list.
2 kids.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
But it also shows a unwillingness to change, which is somewhat acceptable because a lot of guys are very consistent in their behaviors.
Yeah.
So when you have a woman that's consistent in your behaviors and the only deal breaker is children and how many, I don't necessarily see a problem with that, right? I see more of a opportunity than a setback. But as for me as a man, I'm not going to digress, especially from where I'm from, African background, things like that, to acquiesce to that when I'm also working towards being financially available for at least 3 children. So I'll go ahead and speak a little bit more to what I see in the dating world currently. You know, I definitely see a push for marriage, and I've always been a little bit pushed back by this because a lot of the times these same women will not push marriage on other men, but when it comes to me, my lifestyle, my situation, you'll see that push for marriage. And you know, everybody comes into a situation wanting something, desiring something. Men desire something as well, some to a lesser degree. Women, same thing, some to a lesser degree. But what are your intentions? To one person, it may seem evil. To one person, it may be their love language. For example, if a man desires sex, one woman might think this is evil. One woman might think it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
If a woman desires money, one man might think this is the easiest thing to provide. One man might think she's a gold digger and she is just going to suck me dry.
I kind of feel like, so when I think about like women and how they change for particular men, because I always wondered similar things. Like, you know, you treat me a certain way, then you would treat a different person. Because like, you ever would talk to a girl, she's like, well, shoot, I ain't never been on a date before, or, nobody's ever took me on a vacation before, and it feels almost like, well, why should I take you on one? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like if you allow somebody to treat you on that level, and then you get into a new predicament where you're getting treated differently, you automatically change your perception of like men in general. Because when you get into a situation and you're only used to a certain level of courtship, what happens is, oh, this is new. Maybe I want to latch on to it. Maybe I want to add a new level of responsibility in order to maintain me or have me with this guy, because I don't want to lose him in a sense. And I know in the past I've been treated this way by the men that I've been entertaining, and I think that's why we get treated differently, or some men get treated differently than others. When if you act the ass and treat them like they used to, it's like almost like you don't get that same level of responsibility towards what they expect, or maybe they've been through it so many times that they change their own level of what they going to accept.
So I think, and I can only speak for myself in this regard, but I think that the real problem is that you felt it was a responsibility that you had to hold on to, right? Like, for me, it's not a responsibility to provide anything for you until you are someone that I value in a certain way. And I will set parameters for that. I will literally tell a woman, like, if you don't want to pay any bills, have my children. But at the same time, if I've only said that to one person, you understand? I'm not going around the world saying that to everybody. And we were in a relationship at the time. You understand? So when you start to show me different characteristics that make me believe that you are not the person for me, then all of that is off the table and we move on in a different direction.
How long do you think it takes to really get to know somebody, though?
I mean, it's different for everyone. For example, if somebody comes to me with a list of things from when they were 5 years old, and everything that they say verbatim is the same thing as what's on that paper, I have a good sense of who you are. When I walk into your family environment and everybody is telling me exactly who you are, and that's exactly who you are with me, wow, that's different. But if your family is telling me something different and I choose to ignore it, that's already red flag number one. Because who are they most comfortable with? Their family. If they're disrespecting their own family members, you can expect that at some point disrespect will come your way as well.
So you understand that you're noticing the signs, is what you're trying to say, and that's how you feel.
I think most people neglect the signs, right? I've had a parent tell me, oh, my daughter is hard-headed. I've had parents tell me she don't listen to nobody. I'm like, I don't have that problem.
Yeah, exactly. So
right?
Imagine how that makes you feel. So imagine you meet a girl, her parents are telling you one thing, but for you, she's a whole different person. So how does that make you feel? Special, right?
To a degree, but you also have to understand that is the butterflies. That is I want to impress this person. I want to keep them in my life. And then the problem is that once they have that person, once they have everything that they've desired,
or once they got that,
they're now comfortable to now revert back to who they were in the beginning.
So how long do you usually take for the person to just be completely comfortable with you?
It depends on how you portray yourself. It depends on what you give to them. If I'm someone who's going to be like, I'm not interested. 100% of the time, which is not my personality. I'm okay being nonchalant, but I'm not about to play games with anybody. You understand? Like, everybody want to play games. I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. And I understand if a guy wants to do that or a girl wants to do that because they feel as though everybody is doing that, but that's not really going to get you what you truly want. It's only going to get you to feel as though you won in the beginning. But if you want a guy like me, just for example, or a guy like you, for example, playing those same games, if you got somebody for 3 months instead of a lifetime, what was the point?
Right.
You understand? And so, like, I'm trying to break that mindset of everybody saying, oh, yeah, I just want to get one up. If you can't provide the same level of attention to detail, if you can't provide the same level of care, love, and attention, doesn't mean it has to be all the time, but it has to be consistent, then you are not ready to partake in this type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's not just for me, because I'm not necessarily speaking to any of my core values, but it's more so just how you portrayed yourself in the beginning. You understand what it takes to get what you want.
Right.
Now
You
you're choosing to step back, allowing yourself to lose what you are able to keep.
Right. So you're able to get what you want, but how do you keep it? Is what you're trying to say.
They all know how to keep it. All they have to do is go back to how they got the person.
I think it's the hardest part for most women.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's learning how to keep a man.
You know, from 15 on up to my old ripe age.
Yeah. Right my ass. Keep going.
I've heard it all. Oh, I'm so happy. I just want to gain some weight. Happy weight.
Yeah.
That was a trend. Happy weight going up. I'm like, I met you and you wasn't holding on to some happy weight. I want you angry as fuck right now. You understand? Like, go back to being angry, because now genuinely, I'm proud. I'm grateful that you're happy around me. Yeah. I'm grateful that you feel so comfortable to gain some weight. But don't just come to me with a pop belly because you felt like it. Yeah. You understand? Like, you understand? Come to me how I was attracted to you. You know, don't get so comfortable to where you're being less than you were before.
And I feel like, all right, so you know me for like 4 or 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. I can't count it. The
2020,
date.
so
2020,
almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm. So 5 years, right? Do you feel like you completely know who I am?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and some of it is, do you want to dig that deep? Yeah. What type of level of relationship do you want to have with this person?
Yeah.
You understand? And I feel like we have a great relationship.
I'm an open book, though.
It could be even greater.
Yeah.
Right? It's the willingness to dive into that type of conversation. Like, you know, again, that's looking around your home and seeing what interests you. Like, I'm about to show you pictures from my trip, and that will show you a different side of me that you probably never thought of.
Right.
Like, why did you choose this? You know, there was hundreds of pictures to choose from. Why did you decide on this? What made you decide on this? How were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah.
You understand? And so it's upon that person, like, how far do you want to go? You see, the good thing about friendships is that there's separation. Mm-hmm. I can separate myself. We didn't see each other for 2 weeks?
Right, for sure.
Although I would be happy to go on Taco Tuesday every week. Yeah. You feel me? And I saw you have tacos on Tuesday. I'm like, damn, I would have came. But at the same time, I also know, I want to be at the gym.
Yeah.
I want to work out. I want to come home. My brothers want to hop on the PS5. His friend is going to be on too. I got to make these YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm like, I want Taco Tuesday too. I want to just chill and hang out with my boy. So, you know, there's also a want, like, I want to hang out with you. I can't wait to go out and party. I can't wait Friday, Saturday to have that experience, because we haven't had that in so long.
Yeah.
You understand? But now the deeper connection. If we go any deeper, we damn near brothers, bro. You feel me? Because that's where it's at for me, because it's like my little brother call me every day. My older brother, we talk all the time. My uncle, I go and see him on the weekends when I can. And it's like, you understand? If we start to dive into that type of realm, which is great, you understand? But that takes a lot of vulnerability from both people now. Yeah. Now you got to see a different side of me that you probably haven't seen before.
Yeah.
I would say
this. And the reason why I feel like it takes longer, it's like, I think 5 years is like a minimum how you get to know somebody and really feel them. Because like you said, that person gets comfortable. and they start showing different sides of them that you didn't know. They get to show the lazy side, the happy side, the excited side, the angry side, the sad side. You know what I mean? The I don't want to be bothered side of them. Like, you get to see multiple different sides within 5 years. 10 years is when you really, really get to know somebody, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
I 100% agree.
I
But let me level this out first. What I want to say in general is the most important part about it. Whether it's 1 year, whether it's 10 years, whether it's 3 months, whether it's 9 months. The most important part of the relationship is the respect part. As long as you understand the respect level that other person has for you, you understand that no matter how this person is, or no matter like what things you don't know about them, you'll know that in certain situations you're gonna be okay. You understand? If it's you lend me money, and you know I got enough respect for you to pay you back, you know you're gonna be okay. If you're with a shorty and she has enough respect for you not to do stuff behind your back and make you look stupid, then you know you're gonna be okay. If you're with a shorty and she got enough respect for you to make sure that to check in on you and make sure you're okay, you're going to be okay. So at the surface level, we want all these notches and all these bullet points to be hit, when necessarily all we just need is somebody who really wants to be around us and somebody who respects us, in my opinion.
I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, like, I don't even care for the relationship. You feel me? Like, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
And it's like I talk to plenty of women, just putting it out there, and they'll be like, what I gotta lie for, you feel me? It's like, at the end of the day, if I tell a woman, like, there's no woman that's going to enter my life, and I shouldn't say no, because it's a possibility. I always say, like, if you own a business, the likelihood of a woman helping you to grow that business is pretty likely. Because I've seen women that will bust their butt in somebody else's restaurant that is owned by their boyfriend. And it won't be often. It'll be like once a month, twice a month. You understand? But they still going out of their way to help out. You understand?
What would impress you from a woman? What would impress you?
Well, that's a great question. That is a great question. What would impress me? Because it's definitely not the education. Although, you see, the thing about life in general is that people be wanting stuff, and at the same time, they don't want it. You understand? So you'll want a guy to be honest with you, but not too honest because it hurts your feelings. You want a guy to have money, but they don't want to show it off, right? You want just enough money to have fun, but be in the background while I'm the princess, right?
I'll be real honest with you, bro. I don't care what the shorty thinks she wants. I'm gonna show her what she didn't know she wanted.
At the end of the day, now you're trying to change somebody.
I don't gotta change him. Just trying to influence him to see a different side of the coin. That's it.
At the end of the day, like, people don't change, bro. It's not about showing somebody what they want, because now, again, you put that pressure on yourself to be someone that has to do so much more. Like, I was reading a comment the other day, and it was like, a guy should heal themselves so that they can then go out into the world and heal a woman and make her that.
No, ain't no Superman. What's that Eminem said? I can't be your Superman?
Yeah, what J. Cole said, he said, don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Yeah, so at the end of times of the day, women are using these excuses to do what they want to do.
That was a man saying that.
That's crazy.
So a man should heal himself and then go and heal a woman in order to have a relationship. Why would a man heal himself by himself? Because that's essentially the world that we live in, is us only.
Right.
And then take care of us only. And then hope that somebody is willing to nurture and provide for who? Your children.
Right.
Because they're not willing to nurture you. Right? It's too much to care for your own man. You don't care how he feels. Nobody ever asks him how he feels. It's all about how do you feel,
it's a
right?
superhero mentality, yo.
Yeah, and so why would I go out of my way to heal me and then I gotta heal you too? That don't make no sense. Let me stay over here in my peace.
When you was talking about, what was you talking about? You was talking about the PS5 earlier, how you got to get on and play with your cousin sometimes.
Yeah, my brother.
So you get the opportunity to play with your brother, which is great, right? So imagine Well, like let's think about a game everybody plays, Grand Theft Auto, right?
For sure. I can't wait for that to come out. GTA 6, I can't wait.
GTA 6. I think one of the things is just like you're playing the game, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you play Grand Theft Auto 5, but you got like different people you can go from one person to another person to another person, right?
I vaguely remember, but no, I don't play it now.
So in Grand Theft Auto 5, you are your own character. You got your own storyline. You got everything going on, right? Mm-hmm. Everything that you're doing really only affects you and what you got going on. Obviously, on the brighter end, it affects the story and everything around you. Mm-hmm. But in your own mind, this is all you're worried about. You understand? So as a woman, when you enter a relationship, you're worried about how the relationship works for you. You know what I'm saying? And then once it works for you, you know, maybe you care about how the guy feels about it. But 9 times out of 10, women don't really have a responsibility of making a man feel good or making sure the man is taken care of because, you know, it's a cat and mouse game. It's the man is the cat trying to chase the mouse. You understand?
I understand what most women have experienced in life. That has not been my experience.
Well,
right?
I get that too. Now, as a man playing the cat and mouse game, you find that mouse, you know what I mean? The mouse can then understand what type of man you are and level the playing field based off of your value. You understand?
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Will I adapt that mentality? Absolutely not. Right? And I come from a place where it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You understand? Women don't play hard to get in New York. Or maybe it's just the type of character that I possess. Right? My boy who just moved down here, women don't play hard to get in Ohio.
Yeah.
Women don't play hard to get with me.
Right.
You understand? Women are willing to drive 3 hours to come and see me.
Yeah.
Fly, whatever it takes. You understand? There's no cat and mouse. They understand value. They see value. They know value. How do you stand out? How do you make yourself known to where you are the person that I want to be with? Because I do look at monogamy as something that is precious. You know, maybe at one point I did not view it that way. But I do see the benefits of one person that you can truly confide in, that you can truly
trust.
Like just to have your back and to go through life with. And it'd be the simplest things. Like, you know I'm good, baby. Just tell me I'm good. You understand? Yeah, you know I'm good. Just tell me I'm good. Just like you want to be told you're pretty.
Yeah.
You understand? If I'm not messing with a job, it's all right. Just, hey, you might want to quit. It's getting to you. It's getting to me. You understand? Don't just be there and not have any input. Don't be just a dummy.
No facts.
You understand? Don't be somebody I can't talk to.
Don't be a trophy.
Yeah,
Don't
like
just sit on the shelf and look pretty.
Yeah, you just sitting on the shelf. You understand? Like, I could cook, I could clean, I could do all that stuff. But I got you here, and I'm like, you know what? Let me find value in somebody who is literally going to take a lot of my net worth. You understand? Like, my assets, my money, I'm spending that on you. And that is a guy's most precious thing outside of his own children, which I don't have. So if I'm going to give you my resources, the least that I can expect is to try and find value within you.
Yeah.
You understand? And a woman who can't cook already, you like,
yeah,
at least tell me you willing to learn.
Yeah.
You understand? Because at this point, it's like, baby girl, I do this every day. Like, I don't even need you for that.
That's exactly what I was talking about, that influence. It's like, yeah, maybe you might not be...
But it's not about...
be that, but like, maybe I can influence you to change. Not in a way that I'm expecting to change, but it's just like, oh, shoot, I'm messing with Dex. Or I'm messing with Festus. I got to be better. You understand?
So I understand, but here's an example, right?
Yeah.
There was this one chick who said she don't necessarily cook. Maybe her family member cooks for her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to force you to do something that you don't normally do.
Right.
She's like, well, I do prep for myself all the time.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Well, I do want to live healthier. So, you know what? If you're going to prep food, that's something that I may be interested in.
Right.
So, like, even before, I like to joke around with my brothers. Yeah. I called them up. I said, yo, I'm about to go to Popeyes. Or should I go to this African restaurant? They're like, African food. I'm like, it costs more. I'm telling them all the negatives. I'm like, it costs more. Yeah. It's out the way. I gotta wait 20 minutes. They're like, but you eat Popeyes all the time. You in the gym, you trying to be healthy. They was not letting me slide, bro. You feel me?
And that's what it is.
So guess what? I had to switch a couple lanes. I had to go to the African restaurant. You see, I had to buy 2 plates. I'm about to eat one in the morning, maybe. And I'm like, all right, this is different. This is better for me.
When I was eating Jamaican food, when I was eating just random plates from random spots, like it's home cooked food. It's going, but if I go eat pizza and fucking burgers and you know what I mean, like fast food all day, of course I'm gonna gain weight, be a fat piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I eat better, if I decide, hey, I'm gonna cook instead of go out, or I'm gonna go, if I am gonna eat, I'm gonna eat at a place that cooks it, like you know, like somebody would at the crib. It's gonna be way better for your soul. So your brothers was just looking out. They know you want the Popeyes.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they know you.
Yeah, for sure.
Where'd you want to go on my birthday? You was like, let's go to Popeyes.
Real quick before we head out. Yeah, for sure.
That's what you wanted to do.
Because listen, man, when you go out, when you party, you're a creature of habit. You understand? Right. And so when you start to change the habits, when you start to find something that interests you in a way that's like, oh, okay, this is not only healthier, but I like it. Yeah. Right? Will I go and spend damn near 4 times the money every single night when I go out to get African food? Probably not.
Yeah.
My fridge was running low. I gotta go grocery shopping, and I'm like, you know what? Let me eat out. So that was an event where I might say, you know what? Let me do this again because it's better for me.
Yeah.
Rather than because of the cost to it.
And that's important, you know. I think a lot of times we try to be frugal. It's ways you could be frugal. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I might cook a big pot of bare beans and rice, you know what I'm saying, Louisiana style. And I know I'm not going to be able to eat that during the week, the full week, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be able to. I probably could do 3 servings, you know what I'm saying, and I'm done. So what do I do with the rest? I bag it up in quart freezer bags, freeze it. Because, you know what I'm saying, maybe next month I might want bare beans and rice again. I could just take that joint out, heat it up, and now I got a meal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Long story short, I do that with tacos. I do that with lasagna. You make a whole pan of lasagna. You think you eating all that in 1 week?
Yep, I just did. I literally just did. Anybody watching this, they know I was eating lasagna for the whole week.
Yeah.
All right? But that's just who I am.
My
like,
stomach not like that.
Nah, so it's like, you know the food is good first and foremost. I made it first and foremost. Yeah. And then it's like, do I want to stay up all night and cook? Because a lot of the times, I only eat out on the weekends for real.
Yeah.
I wait till the weekend because I'm going to cook what I bought from the store. I'm not going to let that go bad. And not everything is going in the freezer, right? So, you know, I made lasagna. And I was just shuffling between fried rice and lasagna for that whole week. Yeah. You understand?
And fried rice ain't gonna reheat that well.
No. Fried rice is only good for about 3 days.
Yeah, but lasagna heat up real well.
Oh yeah, lasagna good to go.
I froze mac and cheese. I made a whole pan of that. I couldn't eat it all, so I had to freeze some sections of it.
Y'all probably don't know how much I love mac and cheese.
I do. That's why I said it.
this man, that's blasphemous. Okay.
Next time I bring you a frozen pack.
Hell no, never frozen. Don't even bring that to this household ever. Okay?
You'd be surprised how I heat up.
Nah. I'll be surprised if I even take a bite. Never frozen, okay? Fresh, never frozen like Wendy's, okay?
Yeah, Wendy's.
I'm not trying to shout nobody out, but no, but on a serious note, long story short, everybody wants something from a relationship. I don't even know what I want from a relationship because like you understand? I'm at that point in my journey.
And I think that's a fair thing to say, and I feel like a lot of people think they know what they want out of a relationship because if I could be real honest with myself, I would say the exact same thing. I don't know what I want out of a relationship, but I know when it happens, I'm gonna know that's exactly what I needed.
But that's the problem.
What's that?
That's the problem because you're gonna go into a relationship thinking, oh, this woman is beautiful, this woman is pretty.
No.
This woman
I'm past
is everything I'm looking for.
I'm past that. You saw me go through that before.
At the same time, if she doesn't do that thing for you, that's an issue. You understand? So I'm looking at it like you also have to be prepared to step into that journey with that woman.
I think for me personally, like if I could be real honest with myself after having so much experience, I would feel like my goal is to take people for who they are and not who I want them to be. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship.
That's number one for sure.
I know who this person. I know what I'm getting from this person, and I know what to expect. So if I want more, it's my and as a man, I take responsibility for everything. So if I enter a relationship and this woman's not treating me right, I'm taking responsibility for that because I could have treated the situation better. If I'm not getting what I want out of life, it's my fault because I'm not putting enough effort. If things aren't going the way that I want it to go.
The mic is backwards.
No, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not getting with the things that I want out of life, it's just my fault. You know what I'm saying? As long as I do that, I'll be able to make strides in the right direction to make things happen for me. So, yeah, 100%. Yo, if I enter a relationship and shit don't go the right way, shit is my fault because I didn't do the right things to not necessarily manipulate, but influence the woman to be the way I want. And if she's not the way that I want, it's my fault for sticking in there, even though I knew she wasn't what I wanted.
For sure. There's always a red flag. Like I seen a red flag today.
Yeah.
Shorty said, "Oh, I'm coming down."
Pause.
Right? Shorty said, "I'm coming down," and she might watch this video, and she's like, "Oh, and I'm gonna see you if you free." So I'm an extension of your day instead of the day.
Yeah,
you understand?
Not even that. It's like you moving with. All right, and so this is me thinking out loud. Mm-hmm. She's like making this whole situation up to make it feel like if it doesn't go down, you know what I mean, she wasn't really that interested in it in the first place. So it'd be like an excuse. Where with me personally, it's like, well, shit, I know I said I was coming here. You are a big part of the reason why I'm stopping here. So you need to be free at this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean...
That would change your opinion of the red flag, right?
For sure. That would definitely change the opinion of the red flag. Because now I'm at a point where my nonchalant ass is ready to say, you know what, just go ahead and do you. You feel me? Just
choose a better route for you.
Yeah.
This ain't the one.
Nah, it's not at all. You understand? And so that's how I kind of operate. Like, and ladies, for y'all out there who just think like, most guys don't concern themselves with you for whatever reason, is no, we normally don't have this man-to-man conversation, but what we'll do is we'll just internalize it and say, you know what, I had higher hopes, I expected more, and so what I'm going to do is now expect less. And also give less because I don't feel the same reciprocated energy.
Right.
And so for me, it's always about that reciprocation. I feel as though I wanted to see this person, spend time with this person, and this person wasn't necessarily on the same wavelength. You understand?
They changed the pace of the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Long story short, if you're giving back and forth energy with a man, be intentional. You know what I mean? Be 100% intentional because that nonchalant shit, honestly, for me personally, I'm the same way. As soon as your vibe switch, yo, all right, this is something I definitely want to talk about. So imagine you supposed to go link with a shorty the same way that this shorty's supposed to be linking with you, right? Imagine you're supposed to be linking, right? And when it's time, I feel like long distance, right? So imagine it's Arizona. Imagine it's New York. Imagine it's Philly. Imagine it's Arkansas. Wherever you're going, right? You're about to go link with a shorty. The distance, you talk different because of the distance. You know what I mean?
How so?
Like you could talk all the shit you want. Like as far as like courting, right? Courting wise, you can flirt, you can go crazy. But once it becomes a reality, that distance is different, right? It hits different when you're like, oh, I'm about to pull up on you. And the reason why I say it's different because I know women are their own creatures. So imagine you're a woman. What's the thing women got over men is that I feel what women got over men is that they are constantly being approached, right? You have a lot of options, right? So you go to the situation where you got a lot of options, and you're probably entertaining like a good 10% of those options, right? And that could be
maybe less, yeah.
Maybe less, but like let's say it's anywhere from 2, because options means more than 1, 2 to 6 people that you entertaining on a, you know, maybe some people are lighting. This is my perception. If I'm talking to a woman, I'm not the only person you're talking to. That's just automatically, I know this. And I'm okay with it, because if I'm just starting to talk with you, you need to be entertaining your options, because I might not be the one, and vice versa, right? I need to be entertaining my options, because you might not be the one. So I pull up to your city, right? Let's say I pull up to your city, and all of a sudden the communication deafens. In my mind, you live with somebody or you got a dude and you can't meet up. But over the internet, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? Over the internet, you were ready to go. But when I come to your city, it's a dub, right? It's like, oh, I can't meet up. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. This situation. You know what I mean? And you take too long to respond. And I think that be the issue 9 times out of 10, is that these women have so many options. Whatever option works better for them to be able to entertain and still be able to hold whatever they got going on in their personal life, is going to be the option they choose.
I also think it really just depends on the type of woman you're interested in.
Yeah.
You understand? Because, like, I don't see that a lot when you have a single woman with no children.
Yeah.
Who has their own place. You understand? If a woman, 9 times out of 10, the girls that I talk to, they live alone.
Yeah.
They have no kids. And they're openly looking to date. And a lot of the time, within the first 2 days, they're like, I want a boyfriend. I want a man.
Yeah.
And so...
what do you feel? I mean, why would you think that that's the reason why they or because they're single and they live alone? Like, why would you think they want a boyfriend in comparison to the other people?
It's not in comparison to other people. It's like, I don't look for the other people, right?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for the women with multiple children.
But
I
do entertain women with children.
Right. Understand,
Yeah.
And that is very understandable.
Yeah. And
if
lot
I
of
had
women
children,
with children won't entertain like having a boyfriend straight up the joint, because they want to get to know you first, because they have a kid and stuff like that. Is it different?
and I also think that is cap.
You
You understand? Absolutely. I was 18, and women with kids, I'm talking about older than me, very much older than me, were all willing to entertain me from 18. I had a job.
Yeah.
I was in college. And that was all they needed to know.
It's a difficult thing to, like, I'm not entertaining just anybody with kids. Obviously, it's a certain
And that's
caliber of
understandable,
woman.
because as a man, you are also a protector.
Yeah.
Right? There are some women who have to take on both roles, but at the same time, there's also women who need for a male's presence more than they can psychologically think to protect their own children. And so when you look at it from that aspect, I was in people's houses where their kids were supposed to be asleep, and we in the other room.
Yeah. That's a dub for me.
You understand?
That's a dub
But
for
understand, I didn't even know that the kids was in the other room. Like, you ain't want to tell me that?
Yeah.
You feel me?
But see, I wouldn't
like,
that's the type of like things that I got. Like, if I'm entertaining that type of shorty, like, I'm really desperate at this point.
Bro, but again, did I know?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. I didn't even know she had kids.
Yeah.
That was just one instance, though, right? So it's like, yo, no, it's not the same, bro. It's not the same. Trust me. I know for a fact.
So single women with their own spot, why do you think they want a relationship so bad?
It's not so bad. I just think that I'm different.
That you're different.
I have to be. Because at the end of the day, like, when you look at it, there are guys that approach them, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. And I've seen it in front of me. But they'll be like, wanting to grab my arm.
Yeah.
Why? And, it's also a mindset. I've had girls circle back as soon as I tell them I'm not interested. As soon as I just write them off. Texting me for 2, 3, 4 years. Still. Constantly. Even today. But I remember our first conversation, I said, oh, you not showing enough interest. Peace. That was all it took for this woman to do a 360. For the next couple of years. You understand? So it's so different because you're talking about the chase. And I believe it's because so many guys chase. I'm just too much of a different character.
So would that be like a line? that you were right. It would be like you're not showing enough interest.
Oh yeah, for
Peace.
sure.
That's one
like
of the,
honestly, I was about to text my other
that's
shorty
one of your
that.
trademark.
Not necessarily is like I don't
just
think
depends on
about
the
what I gotta do.
yeah.
So here's one thing I learned from so young. Like I used to think about what I was gonna text a girl when I was 14.
Yeah.
You understand? My older cousin, which I'm shocked that I took advice from him because at this point I'm like the guru myself. But one good thing he ever told me was, don't even think about what you're gonna say, just say it. You understand? There was a lot of times where I wouldn't even entertain a girl until they responded back to my text. And you know what my first text would always be?
What?
Hey. I'm dead ass serious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to write, hey, how is your day going? Are you the most wonderful person in the world? No. Hey.
It gauges the interest level real quick if they respond.
Absolutely. And if you don't respond to hey, there's nothing else to say.
Right.
You weren't already initially attracted to me to continue this conversation. Peace.
It shouldn't matter what I gotta say. I ain't gotta like.
At all.
I tell my people all the time, like, so a lot of my friends are in car sales, right? Yeah, so they always gotta sell something. But they take that same game to them in the battlefield when they trying to talk to women. It's like, bro, you shouldn't have to sell yourself. She knows she like you from the jump. It's your job just to keep her entertained, but you don't gotta sell yourself. You ain't gotta tell her what you got going on. You gotta tell her nothing about you. She don't care. She just wants you for who you are because she see who you are from the beginning. She's seen you. You know what I mean? So just continue to work on yourself. Be the best version of you, and eventually women will just pile up.
Yeah, bro. Like, again, lack of interest, no matter how beautiful you look, no matter how much resources you may think you have.
You getting cut.
Oh, for sure.
You getting pushed to the
and
side.
it all starts with the same one word. You understand?
Hey.
Hey. And if you don't want to respond to that, that's fine, baby.
You gotta go.
It's not even gotta go. She wasn't entertaining me. That's fine. I won't pursue any further.
And if we was wrong and you really was interested, then you gotta prove that. You gotta switch that shit around.
Oh, for sure. So like she'll tell me like, hey, back. And that's enough for me to say, okay, at least she engaged in the conversation. Now let's move forward. Or if I'm speaking to somebody in person and I'm like, hey, shorty, I want to talk to you real quick. If she turns around and we're having a conversation, that's cool. But if she kind of ignores me or brushes me off even the slightest bit or tells me to wait, peace, I'm out.
Right.
I'm not waiting for you to find time to talk to me because your friends are there. No. Like, I approached you, took my time out of my day, mustered up the confidence to go out and approach you on this floor, and you're telling me to wait. Peace. You understand? We like, that's never been my mindset.
Yeah.
So her friends see that. Her friends wish that it was them that I talked to. And unfortunately, it just wasn't their day. So I mean, that it is what it is. We move on.
I fuck with it, man. I appreciate that advice, man. Because I'm about to start saying, hey.